If you go back and watch Endgame carefully, you start to notice something strange. It wasn't just an ending. It was the moment everything quietly broke, and most people completely missed it. Because Endgame didn't close the story, it opened something much bigger and far more dangerous. Today we're breaking down how that one movie may have set up multiple future disasters and why all of it could be leading straight into Doomsday. Let's start with the biggest one, the moment Thanos destroys the Infinity Stones. After the snap, he walks away, builds a quiet life, grows food, cooks, and it all feels peaceful. But when the Avengers finally confront him, he reveals something shocking. He didn't just use the stones, he destroyed them, reduced them to atoms. And that sounds simple at first until you remember what Ancient One explained to Bruce Banner. The Infinity Stones are not just weapons, they are anchors that hold reality together. Time, space, everything. And if even one is disturbed, the timeline starts to fracture. But Thanos didn't disturb one, he erased all of them. And that's not a victory, that's a risk. Even in Marvel Comics, destroying the stones has never been a small event. Entire universes have collapsed because of it, and before Secret Wars we've already seen how unstable things get when the balance is broken. So what if that was the real beginning? What if the MCU has been slowly moving toward collapse ever since that moment? And here's the detail that makes it worse. Thanos says the stones are reduced to atoms, not gone, still there, just scattered. And in Marvel stories that matters. Because when universes reset, the stones don't stay gone, they come back, reformed, rebuilt, changed. So maybe this isn't over, maybe it's just waiting. Now move to another loose thread, Loki escaping during the time heist. Yes, he gets captured by the TVA and that timeline is pruned. But the idea still stands. The Avengers created branches and they left damage behind, and not all of it gets fixed. Then there's the moment almost everyone ignores, Steve Rogers fighting himself. That single fight creates a split, a new version of events, and even if memories are wiped, history still shifts. And memory wipes don't always hold completely, which means pieces of that timeline could still exist. Still growing, still changing things in the background. Now think about this, in Infinity War Doctor Strange looks into over 14 million possible futures and everyone assumes he was only searching for a way to defeat Thanos. But what if that's not true? What if he was looking much further ahead, beyond Thanos, beyond Endgame, into something worse like multiverse collapse and incursions, and at the center of it someone like Doctor Doom? Maybe Strange already saw it coming and maybe he knew this was just the beginning. But here's where things get even more unstable. Time travel, not the act itself but the consequences. The Avengers didn't just travel through time, they took things, they moved objects that were never meant to be moved. Yes, Steve goes back to return the stones, but think about it. Can you really put everything back exactly the way it was? Can you return the Reality Stone perfectly? Can you restore the Space Stone into the Tesseract without changing something? It's almost impossible, which means something had to go wrong even if it was small, because even one mistake is enough. Now imagine this, a re-release of Endgame. The story plays out the same and everything feels normal, and then at the very end one extra scene. Steve alone trying to return the stones, succeeding with some and failing with others, and that small failure creates a crack in the timeline. Or maybe something quieter. Steve living his life with Peggy, a peaceful moment, a dance, everything feels complete, and then a knock at the door. He opens it and standing there is Doctor Doom. Not as an enemy but as someone who already knows what's coming. Because another possibility is even more unsettling. What if Steve isn't fighting Doom? What if he's helping him without even realizing it? Every choice he makes and every change in the past builds towards something bigger and more dangerous. There's even a theory that by going back, Steve didn't just live a life, he created a completely different timeline, one where Hydra falls early, where Bucky is saved, and where Tony's story changes. A timeline that doesn't look like the one we know, and one that could connect to something like the Fantastic Four. But realistically, can all of this be explained in one scene? Probably not. And the truth is, this re-release might just be Marvel playing it safe and bringing people back to make money. But still, there's enough here to pay attention, because sometimes the biggest setups don't look like setups at all. They look like endings. And Endgame might be the perfect example of that.